All right, now we're out here. We got a little creek, as you can see, swimming through the forest here, and there's actually little fish in here. While I was setting up to take this shot, a little fish jumped. So you could find some food in here if you wanted to. You also could refill your water bottles, and what I would recommend, obviously, is you're gonna have to boil them or use water purification tablets or use a really good filter, such as Berkey or Life Straw. But just wanted to point out another resource, and I'm getting close to 2 miles in. I'm gonna rehydrate here, and then I'm gonna hit it a little bit more, see if we can get another 2 miles, 3 miles today. This is, it's no joke with the backpack in the South Carolina heat. I give a lot of props to Titan Preparedness for doing the 10K, and he's had a couple partners that have done it with him as well. But get out there and try it. And as I'm sitting here enjoying my little snack, just a reminder that if you eat MREs, make sure you hydrate a lot, because you need a lot more water to process that stuff. That, my friends, is a sinkhole. Can you hear the water down there? And obviously this is fenced off for safety reasons. It's about as close as I can afford to go without disappearing, and then you'll never see Sarge again. It would be cool to know how deep that one actually goes. They actually have another one here. Oh, actually, wait a minute, hang on. I can see where the water's draining into the sinkhole. Hang on. I'm gonna try to put it right in the center. You see that? Right in the center. That's coming from a little swampy area over there, and what it is, it's actually, they've created an irrigation ditch to intentionally drain it down into there. That's pretty cool stuff. So if I wanted to, I wouldn't come right here because the ground is probably not the most stable around there, but I could go over to there, draw some water and purify it if I needed some more drinking water. Keeping your eyes open. Now, I'm still looking for that Yupon holly. I can't find any. But I think we're gonna go ahead and take a break here, and I'm gonna work on a few things. This is a nice shady spot. I'm gonna take a little break and show you a couple other things. All right, so I just wanted to take a little break here, and I'm gonna work on a couple things here, take advantage of this shade. It's a little bit cooler in this spot, and I could use a little cool down, drink some water. What I'm gonna do is over here, we got a little bit of sunlight. I'm gonna go ahead and charge up the phone with my solar charger. I'll show you that in just a second, but I wanted to talk to you about this bag and how I think you should stage your bug out bag. So this is a follow-up to the 511 Rush Tactical review that I did. Somebody in the comments, one of my friends, asked me to do a follow-up in a few months. It's actually been a few months. I use this every single day. All I did was for this trip, I converted this to my bug out bag, so I moved stuff from my bug out bag into here. But when you're staging it, a couple things that I recommend you think about. So I'm gonna move the camera around here a little bit. So the first thing is, you can see I've got a sharpener on the outside, so it's easy access if I needed it. In here, gloves. You're gonna encounter, you might want to be building a shelter or thorny plants. Sometimes the edibles come on thorny plants, so you're gonna want some gloves. And then I do recommend you keep your poncho in your front pocket, or your rain gear in your front pocket, because when you need it, you're gonna need it fast. That's thing one. Now, the Molle webbing has actually held up really well, but and I throw this in and out of my car every day. It's getting thrown under my desk at work. It's getting a moderate amount of abuse, but the Molle webbing's held up fine. The only thing that I did, like, I usually grab it by this handle, the top handle, as I'm throwing it in and out of the car, and I did hear like a tiny little tear, but as you can see, it's like a quadruple stitched in there, so it's going to be a while before that would be an issue. But that was the only thing that I've noticed so far after several months of really beating on this thing. Okay, now back to staging it. Do recommend you have your first aid kit somewhere near the front. This is my drop pouch that I could drop wild edibles in if I wanted to, and in here today I've got the foraging bandana. This is usually on me or near me when I'm doing small hikes, but I moved it into here today for my longer hike, and that's just a drop pouch. A couple other things, I recommend that you stage your water with your fire kit and how to boil water. So this little camp cup, the Nalgenes will settle in there, and then it'll go in that pouch, so I can boil water in there if I needed to. I keep my fire kit up here as well as some water purification tablets I showed you that in another video, the fire kit. And over here, I keep another water bottle. This is the Klean Kanteen, which can actually boil water in this one as well. Right now it's got fresh water in it, but once that's gone, I can start using that to draw from water sources, and I could boil in here, or I could boil in the cup. I could add a water purification tablet. So I recommend in your bug out bag, if you're gonna do this, to have at least a couple different ways to boil water and at least 3 different ways to start a fire. One last thing, or 2 last things. I usually keep my Bushcraft knife strapped on there. I keep 1 or 2 knives on me at all time, one for small tasks, one for medium tasks, and this one is for heavy tasks. That is the Gerber Strongarm. I will do a review on that, a full review on that. This is actually, for the budget, this is a phenomenal Bushcraft knife. You can, obviously you can do better with obviously you can get into more expensive stuff, but for the money, this is a phenomenal Bushcraft knife. And then the last thing I do recommend is that you stage your, at least one of your lighting sources near the very top of your bag. Don't bury those things in the bottom of your bag, right? So this is my headlamp. This is just a cheapo Energizer. It works fine. I'll probably upgrade at some point, but for now that does the job. So just again, back to concepts. I'm not going to completely empty out the bug out bag right now, but back to concepts. When you're staging your bag, I usually have my bedroll down the bottom, my tarp, which I've recently switched to a tent, up the top, water. This would be like, eventually be dirty water, clean water, a couple ways to boil it. You want all that on the outside. Fire kit on the outside, poncho and gloves on the outside, first aid kit on the outside, lighting on the outside. So all the stuff that if you need it, you know you need it bad. And that's what you want on the outer part of your bag. Store the inner part of your bag, you can throw in whatever you want, your MREs, your clothes, extra change of socks, whatever, more first aid supplies, backup stuff, whatever. Backup lighting sources, things like that. But the outside of the bag, the external compartments, is where you want to have your stuff that you can get to really, really fast. All right, so I'm a little over 2 miles in. I'm still over at that sinkhole spot. I'm using the solar charger from XE to charge up one of my camera devices. And I figured I'd stop for a little bit of a lunch. Now I thought about doing, heating up a full lunch here, but I'm actually gonna do that a little bit later. So I'm just gonna have a little snack here that doesn't require me to get anything lit or, use the camp stove or anything like that, the little mini camp stove. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna have one of these MRE wheat crackers with a little bit of cheese and jalapeno spread. All right, so there's what your wheat bread looks like. Let's check out this. Let's check out this cheese spread. All right, I'm actually a little frightened looking at this, but let's give it a try. I got to tell you, the bread actually smells really good. When the video's over. Man, that cheese spread smells a little funky, not gonna lie. All right, I spread it with my pocket knife, which was, really fun to clean up, but let's give this a try, man. I'm telling you, this cheese smells funky. So these MREs came from MRE Mountain. You can check them out. I'll try to remember to put a link down below. You can get MREs from a lot of different places, but MRE Mountain seems to have really good selection. There seems to be a shortage in a lot of places right now because people are getting worried about food self-sufficiency and the supply chain. Probably shouldn't smell it. Okay, that's not bad. That's actually not bad. If you had Cheese Whiz when you were growing up, that's kind of what this tastes like. Get just a little bit of the hint of the jalapeno. That's not bad.